plaintiff, Carol Lucier, says the defendant moved in with her soon after they started dating. And while living together, the defendant overdosed on synthetic marijuana. Carol claims after that the defendant moved out for no reason, but she later found out it was for another woman. Carol's suing her ex for unpaid rent. Defendant Gage Wingo says the reason things with Carol didn't work out is because she has anger issues and was constantly flying off the handle over the littlest things. Gage claims once during an argument, Carol smacked him in the face, and he doesn't believe he owes her.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
State your name.
Carol Lucier.
Sir.
Gage Wingo.
Miss Lucifer, you're suing your ex-boyfriend for $1,003 for
Your Honor,
unpaid
it's
rent?
Lucier.
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 Look like the devil.
Happens all the time, don't worry about it. No harm taken.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Please forgive me. All right. So, Miss Lucier.
Yes.
Start with you, ma'am.
Your Honor, we met about a year ago, and we hit it off. Things moved really fast. He moved in not too long after we started dating, and the condition that he wouldn't use drugs because he had told me prior that he did do drugs. So I took him in, let him move in. Come October of 2016, he overdosed on K2. I found him in the bathroom.
That's a synthetic weed?
Yes, it is. I found him in the bathroom, and he was babbling incoherently, and it looked like the scene from a horror movie where somebody was doing a satanic ritual. It was like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo.
She should have loved it.
I knew Lucifer was in here somewhere. Go ahead, he was going through a satanic ritual. Something you obviously are very familiar with. Go ahead, though.
I was terrified. I was scared, and I called the police and the ambulance. They arrived and took him to the hospital, where I later found out that he had told them that he had overdosed on the K2. At that point, I made him promise, if you're going to be in my house, can't do any of this. Don't want it in the house. Don't want any of the paraphernalia in the house. And so he promised. He promised he wouldn't do any of that around me, wouldn't bring it in the house, wouldn't do anything. So in December, he moved out. I don't know why. He had no reason to move out.
That's not true.
Is this your new girlfriend, sir?
Yes, it is.
Well, maybe that, ma'am.
He,
But you should take pride in the fact that she's trying to look like you. See, her hair is almost like yours. She put a color,
Mine was like this before her.
No, she put the part in her hair, got it to the side, colored
There's only
it.
one original.
Pretty
Only one
cheek,
original.
pretty rosy cheeks. Trying to be like you. And you're right, there's only one you. Tell him.
there's only one me.
There you go.
Well, Christmas came around, and my family bought him gifts. I bought him gifts. 3 days later, he leaves. Doesn't tell me why, and I just assumed he was done with me. A couple weeks later, he comes back. He comes crawling back to me. This was in January, and this is after I found out he had left me for another woman the first time. And so, with that being said, I was in love with him. I took him back. It was 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He called me up on the intercom to come back inside. I let him in. Trust issues were there, big time. He started disappearing again, and he,
You think that was all women
mostly.
that disappeared?
Yeah. Because he would tell me, I just went out with my friends.
That's what all crackheads say before they disappear.
He told me,
You caught the man ODing.
I know.
Number one, that wasn't any K2. That's overdose on cocaine.
It was K2.
And then all that disappearing all the time. That's a binge of gifts that he's traded in for crack. Oh, ma'am. Am I right or wrong?
Completely wrong.
Why were you so hesitant? Why did it take you a minute to think it? I'm just messing with you, sir. You give me some background. I'm just playing with you.
All right. In the beginning, I met Carol online. In the beginning, things were great. We kind of hit it off. We started talking, moved in with her. Like she said, things were moving fast, but it felt natural because I cared about her and I loved her. A couple of months had passed when I moved in with her, and that's when she began to show her true colors. She had anger problems. She was always flying off the handle about the littlest of things.
That's not true.
She was abusive.
That is also not true.
What would she do to you?
One time during an argument, she smacked me across the face.
Okay.
She was very controlling about the whole thing, about me leaving and everything. I could never leave the house. I was always in that house. I couldn't work. I had to quit my job.
True.
I had to quit my job because she said I was spending too much time at work.
Also not true. We lived in low income. You can't work that many hours living in low income.
Yes, you can if you're scamming. Go ahead. Why are you doing this man like that? I've seen a lot of men do this to women, but this is one of the few times I've seen this done to men. Man wouldn't make it up. You smacking?
Once.
Thank you. Could he go and come as he please?
Yes, he could, as long as I knew who his friends
As
were.
long as. So that's no.
Because he had cheated on me.
What kind of mess is that? Baby, can I go? Who are your friends? David and such and such. When you meet this David? This is the first time I'm hearing this name. This is the first time I'm hearing this name. Bring him in here. I got to talk to you. I'll meet your friends before you can go out with them. You know you was doing this man like that. Go ahead, sir. She tried to control you.
It was there were trust issues, obviously.
Why did you all break up?
Well, me and Katie, we met at work. We were co-workers. We started hitting it off and stuff. So we started seeing each other, and she had actually, she had went through my phone, and she found a message of her saying that she wanted to come cuddle or something. But, it wasn't anything physical. I didn't get anything of physical contact. It wasn't serious until me and her broke up.
All right, sir. She was just asking you to cuddle because that's what platonic friends do, don't they? You and all your platonic friends, you go and you cuddle. What are you suing him for, ma'am, other than lying?
Unpaid rent in the amount of $1,003.
How so? How does he owe you rent?
After he moved in to the low-income apartment, he started working.
Was there an agreement that he would pay you, though?
Yes.
Okay, what was that agreement?
It was that he would pay half of the rent, and he didn't pay half the rent.
How much was half?
Half was, at the time, whatever half of 226 is.
Okay.
So that's how much I was paying at the time.
Okay.
Then rent went up to $506 after they found out that he reported his wages one time. Second time, after he came back in January, he was not reporting his wages at all, which is where the $1,003 comes from.
Well, you told me not to pay my wages.
Ooh, y'all got all kind
That
of
is
welfare
not
fraud
true.
going on.
Scams.
That is not true. You
The
told
welfare
me.
queen and king.
Yeah.
I bet
had
you were
told
working
me-
too, weren't you?
No.
Was she?
No.
Why?
Why?
Yes.
Because I lived in low income.
Why wouldn't you wouldn't you work so that you can get out of low income?
I wanted to, but my financial situation was not the best.
That's why you're going to work.
Okay, I'm on SSI. That's why I can't work.
Huh?
I am on Social Security. That is why I can't
Okay,
work.
you've been diagnosed with something that allows you to be eligible?
Yes.
Okay, well, good enough. Then just say that. That's a very easy answer if it's true. You know, that's all you had to say. Maybe you took so long to say it, that makes folks think that maybe you just took you a minute to come up with something. All right. So tell me, when the rent came due, how did he end up owing $1,000?
They found out that he wasn't reporting his wages. And because he wasn't reporting his wages, it came back on me because I was head of the household. So I agreed to pay it and a payment plan. And since then, I missed one payment due to financial struggles, and now I am being evicted.
But didn't you know that he wasn't turning in the proper wages?
That I didn't know. We had talked about it, and he was given the paperwork to take to work from our property managers. They said that he had to take that in. I thought that he had been taking it in and getting it.
Sir, did she know or not whether you were taking it in? Because this sounds like some type of fraud, so I'm just trying to see who was down with the fraud.
First time, I reported it. The second time, I wasn't able to.
That's not true.
Because she told you not to.
Right.
That is not true. You didn't want to report it.
So you did know that he wasn't reporting it. You say he didn't want to, that means you did know one way or the other. All right. I'm going to conclude that you were involved in some type of fraud or misrepresentation. He didn't turn in his income properly. You knew he wasn't. Therefore, you all were defrauding the government together. And as such, I'm not going to grant you $1,000 because he didn't know how to defraud properly. All right. Have a good day. Your claim is dismissed.
Stuff happens, Carol. You gotta man up and...
You just need to go screw yourself.